Hi everyone. So this time I'm wearing a microphone. Maybe I have a better and clearer words when I deliver my statements. So today I want to share about my journey as a Filipino wife from Philippines, where back home I never drive. Never. I didn't. My family had a car when I was young, but when I was growing up, we don't have a car anymore. So at age of 27, I moved to America, and I'm always impressed when someone have cars because in Philippines, having a car is like you are well off, but that's actually a big difference in America because in many parts of America, everything is far. Yes, it's far. And you can't just get public transportation anytime. You can't just go anywhere without being able to drive. The grocery store is far. The workplaces are far if you want to apply for a job. Medical appointments are far. Even neighbors and friends. Yes, there's no jeepney passing by. There's no tricycle you can just call quickly because it's a different system here. And if you don't drive, you will be stuck and you just have to wait for your spouse to take you, or anyone if you have a good friend that has the time to take you if they're not working. So when I first moved here, I thought I could just rely on my husband. He was not in the military when I met him. But then suddenly we realized he wasn't making enough money with his job. His office job is not enough for us to afford to rent, and I can't get a job yet because I was waiting for my green card. But I needed to support him too. It's very important. And if I truly want to have a better life where I can go anywhere I want to go without asking him all the time to take me anywhere I want to go, I also need to be independent because it's about responsibility. It's about helping your spouse. You cannot just blame him that I move here and you're from here. You are obligated to help me. You're supposed to make my life so convenient because back home it wasn't comfortable, it wasn't convenient. You should be perfect here. No, that doesn't work like that. So I started learning to drive from reading the books, the manual. My mom's niece took me to the DMV, take the test, and then you get the student permit. By the time I get the permit, my husband has to leave because there's a better life when he joined the service. And that's when I started my journey to take classes for driving. And I just remember that in the Philippines, a car can feel like a privilege. But here in America, this is necessity. With my experience, it's not about being mayabang, it's not about showing off. It depends on you what kind of car you want. Now, if you want the nicest car, the new car, the trendy car, that's a different story. If you can afford it, that's fine. If you can afford it, but then you can't even go anywhere because you're paying $1,000 a month plus the rent, you're gonna have to think about it. When you just need only an important transportation that will take you to the places you want to go without waiting and relying to your friends. So it's about survival, mobility, and your confidence to explore the places and learn about the new country that you move and you're living. Well, of course, learning to drive at 27 was scary for me. I had a very grumpy teacher. He's a big guy. I don't know if his way of teaching me to learn faster because he yelled at me when I made a mistake. I didn't understand that there was this green light and I have to wait the car to pass by, and I was about to cut it. He yelled at me, but that's a good thing of hiring a teacher and using their car because they have their own brakes. This was a long time ago, very, very long time ago. But after that, I think I learned faster. And the highways here are big, cars move fast. Different states has different behaviors that you're going to accustom to. But don't let that fear stop you to explore the places, even though for the first time it feel intimidating. But when you're here, you are not just learning how to drive. You are learning how to grow. Because when you get that driver's license, you passed it, and then you have the car that you like, or you just have the car that you can rely, it gave you confidence, the freedom. You can see your friends anytime. When you get the chance, you can go to this area you want to go. A strength and your sense of independence. And when I say that, you're not waiting for the time of other people kung kailan lang sila available. Hawak mo yung time mo. It's your time. It's your decision. And also, in case of emergency, the person that you're relying, it's your time to help them. So, if you are here already and you're not driving, or you and your spouse decided to move to America and you have not, you haven't experienced driving, it's never too late. Don't be, don't blame them if you were stuck at home because you didn't do anything or you couldn't get your driver's license. You can't blame people who can't help you. Learning to drive is very scary, but it is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself and for your family. And sometimes supporting your spouse, your family, also means becoming stronger on your own. And what I'm trying to say is that we love to be able to learn how to be independent without relying that other people have to solve the things that we can't do because we know we can't. And encourage you to think what's the most important to you when you live here. Is it because you just want to explore or be with someone you love and share that obligation and responsibility in the family? You know, when my husband joined the military, I cried because I don't have my driver's license yet. I just had my student permit. But you know what? It gave me a drive to become more independent. One day I came home from work. My husband was in so much pain. It's the first time that he had a really bad headache, and doctor told me that's kind of close to aneurysm. At that time, I was afraid to drive the freeway. I conquered that. I drove him as fast as I could to the hospital, and then when they could not resolve that problem, they transferred him to a different hospital, and I was following him, and I just had my driver's license. It was in the city. The We were living in a big city. Imagine 2 in the morning, I was chasing the ambulance when they transferred him. And while he was in the hospital, 3 days in the hospital, I was able to drive back home, change clothes, get some food. I was not stuck in the hospital. That's the kind of life that I encountered, and thankful that I was able to get my driver's license and drive, took my husband to a place where they can save his life. Same thing that happened when we visited him in Guam. And every time my son is sick, they I could take him anywhere. I was able to work. It's it's a life change being here. Like I said, you may be afraid to live abroad, but there's so many things also that you will learn. And when you learn those skills, you would like to bring them to your home, and maybe you can teach the people around you. Because, like in the Philippines, I never needed to drive. I can just, you know, ride jeepney anytime I want to. But I like to let you know that even if you're just living here for a couple of months, try to get your driver's license here. Try to explore the road here, the understand the law here if you're moving, if you can start reading the manual, starts doing that. Or while you are waiting for your fiancé visa or spouse visa, start working on that, because driving in many places, it's a necessity. It's about survival, mobility, and confidence. Remember that. And I do hope that if you're planning to move to America, is is not something for you to be scared of. You're gonna adjust like I did, and I want to encourage you. Learning to drive may feel scary, but it is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. You don't have to rely all the time to the people around you. To your friends, they love to see you there, but your friends are not always available to pick you up. They have a life too. And if they're available, that's awesome. But you gotta think every time here is so gold. That's why we're accustomed to not having a friends around us. We have to find our ways that make us happier in a way without relying to other people's decision, because if you're waiting for them, you feel that empty in your heart, especially being outside, you're gonna have to wait for a longer period of time to grow. And also sometimes supporting your spouse also means becoming stronger on your own. Thank you for listening to my story. And if you can relate, share your experience in the comments. I would love to hear your journey too. Thank you.